Welcome to Laughter Talks. And as usual, I have a very nice guest today, and I have a handsome man. The goddess loves to have men for guests. And this is Hal Alpert. But what I'm going to do first, let me welcome you, Hal.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's lovely, lovely to be back with you, Marguerite.
Well, thank you. Now, let me let everybody know that I do welcome you back because you have been a guest on the show before. And now Hal is a shining example of continuing your career and be an inspiration in moving forward for all of us in life, which is the best kind of thing we can do, I feel. And the last time Hal was here, he shared with us the information about his short film Brennan, having had Mel Brooks for a roommate, and many other projects that he was working on. Well, for those that might not have seen the other show, you tell us a little bit about your background that you got started because you've got such an interesting life. We want to hear it from you.
Okay. When I got out of high school and I was in the New School of Social Research, today it's called the New School University, I was about 3 weeks in, and they were such a well-rounded drama course that included every facet of drama, including makeup and dancing and so on.
Oh,
So I had about 6 lessons in dancing, and on the bulletin board, a job was opened up. You had to audition for it. They wanted actors who could dance. So I figured 6 lessons of what the hell. I went down, I auditioned, and I got in a show called The Insect Comedy, directed by Jose Ferrer. A lot of your younger audience probably won't even know who he is, but he was one of the
yeah.
actors, directors of.
I remember he was sexy.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, the show lasted 6 performances. However, an agent saw me and asked to represent me. And a week later, I auditioned for and got the Broadway show, My Sister Eileen.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was that. And from there, I was in that show for a year, which counted against my schooling. From there, I went on to a number of national shows throughout the country, and I was in a group called the Metropolitan Drama Group, which was a repertory company on the East Coast. And my roommate in that company, and he wasn't, well, I'll tell you, his name was Melvin Kaminsky. Kaminsky, if you don't know, is Mel Brooks. And he was my roommate in the Metropolitan Drama Guild. Lovely guy, I adored him. He was older than I, and I followed him around like a puppy dog. I learned so much from him.
What a great mentor. He was a great mentor, wasn't he?
Terrific man. Terrific, 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 kind, wonderful man. And then I got married, and my wife wanted to live in California, where she was from. And so I moved to California, didn't know anybody. So I was directing community theaters for a few years until I could find myself an agent and find my way around California. Now, I probably have done most TV shows that you've seen. I've been on NCIS, I've been on How I Met Your Father most recently. And as a matter of fact, Hilary Duff, who stars in the show, befriended me and said, I played a dentist on the show, and she said she hopes she gets it so that I could come back as a dentist. And I was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I just, so many TV shows, too many to even mention. So my career has been wonderful. I can't complain one iota.
Yeah, I've seen you in a lot of things that you're talking about, and it's really nice that you've sustained your career and you do things, and that's amazing. I know you were talking the last time we were on about you did some improv sketches with a friend of yours, and you were hoping to do something with that. How is that going?
I love comedy. And as a matter of fact, I took a joke and I filmed it with her. A joke where two Jewish men meet each other going in different directions, and one says to the other, "Oh, it's so nice to see you. I haven't seen you in such a long time." And then I say to the other person, "You know, and all the time you know me, you never once asked me, how are you?" And the other person says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I've never thought about it. How are you?" So we do things like that, but maybe we could put them on YouTube.
Well, yeah, you could start your own YouTube channel and with you and he doing sketches because there are a lot of us baby boomers that would be very interested in that. So it's something you might consider. And then you have control over it.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't know how to do it. I have to meet you after the show, take you to dinner, and you can tell me all about it.
Okay, yeah, because that would be great because it's not that hard to do. And to tell you the truth, Hal, I don't know what I would do without this format for my expression of creativity and meeting people. This is wonderful. So we'll have to do that.
Interviews as I can, and you do a beautiful job. You really do.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
I can see you on a network show.
Oh, yeah, well, thank you very much. And what is that they say, from your lips to God's ears? Remember when we used to say that? Well, so let me tell you now that if you had to tell us something interesting about the panda, what did you learn? I'm going to start asking this to all my guests. What was the biggest lesson or the biggest thing you learned from living through this pandemic that we all lived through? What's something that came out of it for you?
Well, I'm a people. I love to be around people. I learned that I can also be by myself, and by that I mean I read a lot more than I previously read, and I read I read classic books. I read Plato's Republic.
Wow, you go deep.
I mean, it was here in the house. I had it in the bookshelf. I looked at it and I said, "What the hell?" I picked it up and I read it, and it was very, very, very interesting. I could tell you a little story from it. There's a chapter there called Plato's Cave.
Okay.
And in Plato's Cave, these people are chained to a wall, and there's a fire in back of them, and their shadow is on the wall. And some of them are content to look at their shadow, while others break the chains and get out of the cave to see the world.
Mm.
A very allegorical chapter in the Republic. And I enjoyed reading it. I'm reading a book now about miracles.
Oh, is that a new one or an older one?
If you think about miracles, there really aren't any. Think about it. In the 1800s, if you told somebody, "Man is going to fly," oh, it'd be a miracle. I could never do that. Well, man has flown. And he writes about things like that. I haven't finished the book yet. I just started it. And I belong to a spiritual group of people. And each meeting, somebody facilitates the meeting and brings up a topic. And I'm facilitating the meeting at our next session. And my topic is going to be miracles. So I have to finish the book and a report on it. However, when the pandemic hit, we could no longer meet. So we formed a Zoom group, and we changed the name to the Mastery Circle International. And now it's expanded throughout the world.
Wow.
Members from many different countries joining the group. We also have an in-person group that meets every other Thursday at the Beverly Hilton, which is smaller. And that's
what you're thinking about doing, coming around?
I was in a film started, I guess it was 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
Unfortunately, the film was suspended because there was a complaint against one of the actors.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I won't go into it, but
yeah,
I know what the complaint was, and frankly, it was ridiculous. The actor.
I'm sorry to hear that. Perhaps down the road they'll be able to pick it up. That must have been disappointing for everyone. That's terrible when those things happen.
It was very disappointing for everyone involved.
Oh, of course, of course. Now, let me ask you something. With all because you've done so many different things. If you had to name one thing that was your favorite thing that you've done in your career, what would that be?
The show that I was on, and I adored Pamela Adlon. I don't know if you recognize her name.
Oh,
Pamela had a show on, it's still on, called Better Things. It's on FX. I did a couple of those shows. Pamela is, in my opinion, a genius. She's funny, she's beautiful, she's talented. She's just everything that anybody would want in a human being. She's lovely and kind, and she's a wonderful, wonderful actor, a wonderful director, a wonderful writer. I can't speak highly enough of her.
yeah,
I enjoyed immensely doing her show, Better Things.
better things. And what
She was
is,
one
is that on a show on the internet, or where can people see it?
on FX.
FX.
Yes.
Okay, FX. Okay, because that sounds delightful. I'd like to watch that. That really does.
So wonderful. Oh, it really is. I, I, the people who watch it love it. If you don't know it, it's on FX. I think this is the final season. I'm not sure. It could be, but you can stream it, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, nowadays you can stream everything as long as you have the title. You can put it in and find your way to it. So that's a good thing too. And I have to ask this before we go to: are you still doing lunches with lovely ladies?
My what?
Are you still doing lunches with lovely ladies?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I know it's a joy. Well, I want to let everyone know that you can still be reached on Facebook, correct?
Yeah.
Facebook, Hal Alpert. I'll put that up here for everyone if they'd like to reach you. And also, if someone has some inquiries about hiring you for a gig, you do have your agency. And tell us your agent again.
My agent, I have, by the way, I joke about it, a lifetime contract with my agent. She,
Nice.
she is absolutely wonderful. I don't say it lightly. If she were a man, they would say, what a wonderful businessman he is. But she's a woman, so they call her a tough bitch.
I know, right?
She
We,
has Sean Rogan. It's the Brogan Agency, and it is absolutely wonderful. They work their asses off, and they get me out constantly. I probably get 3-4 auditions a day.
wow, that's
And,
amazing.
well, they really work for the actors. They really work for the actors. It's a wonderful agency. And then I have a manager who's, I think, excellent, Laura Rosenstadt.
Wow.
So between the two of them, I'm always doing something.
They've got you covered. That's really good. See, women are good.
I have a Zoom audition today as soon as this afternoon, as a matter of fact.
Wow, that's good to know. Thank you for sharing that because people want to reach out to you so they can. Now, before we do close, I have one more question that I would like to ask, and that is, I always like to give information for people that might need help. What would you suggest in this day and age for younger people wanting to get into show business or wanting to get into the movies or be an actor? What would you tell them to do to get on their journey?
Well, first of all, you got to really want it. Some people want it because they think it's glamorous, and they're not going to make it. You have to feel it in your gut that there's nothing else for you to do. I've been doing this since I'm 16 years old.
Wow.
I've done some other things in between, but they were all done to support this. So you really have to want it. And the best advice I can give was given to me and a few other men. We were sitting at an audition waiting to be called in, and Tom Cruise walked in and he passed by us. He turned around, he came back and he pointed at us. He said, fellas, stick to it. Keep your noses to the grindstone and you'll make it. And then he kept going. And the answer is just that. Just that. If you got it in your gut, first of all, learn your craft. learn what acting is and what acting isn't, and keep your noses to the grindstone. And then it's a matter of luck. However, you will work. I work. I'm not a major star, but I've made a great life for myself acting. And you can too.
Well, that is excellent advice, and thank you for adding on that last part, because there are many ways to be successful in the industry the way you're doing it, and a lot of other actors are doing commercial work and keep going out there. And that's really what it's about. You want to make an income doing what you love. And so thank you for to take a ride in your Tesla. Oh,
Thank you for my new Tesla.
yeah, this is wonderful. Well, Hal, now you take care, stay safe. I'll see you soon. And thank you again for being on the show. And everybody, we love you all. Have a great day. And remember, protect your immune system. There's only one per customer. Thanks again, Hal. Bye.
Thank you, Marguerite.
Bye, everybody.